All right, guys, I'm here. This ain't normally the type of video I do, but I have got a AMGO lift. Just picked it up. Went to Manning, South Carolina. Picked it up. I'm gonna put it in my shop, and I'll show you how to do it. The instructions are really vague, and just stick around. I'll make this kind of short and quick. That way, maybe it'll help you out. I couldn't really find any good videos on people putting them in, just really basic and what they had after it was standing up. So anyway, that's it. It comes packaged really good. First I thought we was missing a couple arms, but they're tucked in there, so they package them really well. And that's a 10,000 pound lift, and that's it. All right, guys, I got it unloaded. I used the excavator, and what we got is I don't have one of them hand things for my phone. Anyway, the other arms are inside, your cables are inside, and on the bottom it's the hydraulic, let's see, you see it, hydraulic cylinder here. All your hardware is in here, so it's all stuffed in there. So anyway, I'm gonna use the excavator, pick one up at a time, but I will tell you this thing is heavy. So if you don't have a lift, better have about 4 guys ready to help you unload this thing to get it on the ground. You can probably take the straps off and pull each individual part out, and then maybe 2 guys can handle it. But if you try to handle it with all that stuff in it, it's gonna be tough. All right, guys, so far I'm living proof one person can do it with an excavator. But regardless, I used the excavator because I can see better. I got a tractor with forks. Might have been easier with the forks if I had 2 people, but this is one thing you need to know. And one thing I searched and couldn't find, only thing I could find was pictures. All right, so the controls, if you want it to be facing you, will be, if you're facing the lift, it'll be on your right side. If you want it to be away from you, like towards the back of the building, it'll be on this side. So it's not universal. Either one has the controls. Only one of them has controls. Depends on whether it matters to you, front or back. But I really don't think it matters. I just wanted to know so I can know where to run my wires, so I know how much conduit and stuff to get. So anyway, if you're facing the lift, the controls will be on the front. Okay. All right, y'all. If you want to go ahead and do your layout before you get your lift, it is 135 from. This is one thing I couldn't determine, and the new instructions ain't bad. The ones I found online were terrible. All right, from here to the other side's 135, right? So I already had this line here on the floor. It's just a chalk line with my center mark, and it's 67.5 out. So if you want to go ahead and have that ready, that way you can go ahead and position your lift, and you know where you want to put it exactly before it even gets here. It'll help you out a little bit. So good little tip. All right, guys, I got everything set in place. Like I said, it's 135 in between the two, 67.5, I believe it was, from center line to outside of this. So I got it ready to drill. When you go to drill it, check your level, front on each side. So you can see, let me get on this side. You can see this one is a little bit out, and this one is pretty close. So it needs to go forward just a hair. And what it is the bottom of these, where it's welded, they're not completely flat. So you might say concrete's good, you don't need to check it, but see if you can see this. All right, see it wobble? So with that weld on the bottom, ain't nothing you can do. They come with shims. So shim it up, and then set your anchor bolts, and don't tighten them yet. You set your top ridge across the top and make sure everything's right for its adjustment, and then tighten them down. So, all right, I'm gonna get to doing that now. All right, guys, I got my anchor bolts in down there. Clean your holes out good. Use vacuum cleaner. I tried it without the vacuum cleaner. Got it all over my face. Don't do that. Get the vacuum cleaner and the air hose. This is my ladder. So you might find you're going to need probably 2 people for this. This top bar, it's got 2 pieces, right? and it's got 2 hangers on each side, and they'll hang up there. But regardless, it's heavy. So luckily I got a lift. I found it's better to buy equipment than count on people to help you, or hire people and count on them to show up. So regardless, I'm lucky I got a lift. But if you don't have a lift, then you're going to need a couple people on a ladder, and these are pretty stout. So use 4 bolts on each side. Then I'm going to put the other one, it's right here, goes right here, and then you bolt it together in the center. And that's the next step. All right, guys, I've got the top bar on, and it's kind of important. Not really important, but they give you a bunch of nuts and bolts that look similar. There is 8 bolts. They've got washers on both sides, and they've got 4 bolts that have a washer on, only 1 washer. Then they have 6 bolts that are short, and they don't have any washer at all. Well, took me a minute to figure it out, but the one with 1 washer, there's 4 of them, and they go here on your safety bar. So, and then the one with 8 bolts with 2 washers, they go here. And then there's 6 bolts with no washers. Why they don't have washers, I ain't got a clue. But they go here. So there's 2 on the bottom and then 2 on each side. So that's 6. So anyway, that might help you out. And also the limit switch, it comes just a plain limit, and you have to adjust this arm right here. So once I finish getting this bolted up, I'll adjust this arm down. It'll be a normally closed switch, and whenever the arm picks up, it will open the switch and kill the power to it. So that might help you out a little bit. All right, guys, now after all that's done with the safety up there, safety's done, wire's done. On normally closed, wire just comes down here, and it's just hanging for now. But the next thing is to run the cables. So the cable, first cable, follow your instructions for the routing of the cables. One, the nut goes here and it goes up. The next one goes here and it goes down. Now, this is a little tricky because you don't know how it goes down. These things are kind of stuck. You got to put your jack on these things, jack them up, then pull your cotter pin out, pull the pulley off, get your cable up under it, and I used a piece of twine. I dropped a piece of twine down, grabbed my cable, and now I'm just pulling it up. So anyway, hopefully that'll help you out. It took me a minute to figure it out myself. They don't say to do all that, but once you pick it up with the jack a little bit, you'll see it. So all right, guys, I got the cables done on both sides. So the cables are tied in. Not really too bad. Took a little time. But regardless, next thing is the hydraulic hoses. Let me show you what we got here. On the hoses, you have to jack this up, put your board in there, and I got an extra safety. Anyway, can you see that fitting? Let's see, down here. See if I can zoom in so you can really see it. It's a little hard to get to, but this turns. You can turn that back and forth, and also you can pick up on it. So I got that figured out. I'm gonna pick up on it, be able to get those in. It comes with 3 hoses. 2 of them's the same length, 1 of them short. So this is what you got to do, and it don't tell you what to do, so you got to figure it out. It's got a fitting. Fitting goes in here. Your short hose comes up to the top, and up here in the middle they got a T. Now you're going to tee it in to your 2 longer hoses, and your longer hoses will go down both sides of the lift and tie into your cylinders. So that's just something you got to figure out. If you already know it, it makes it a little bit easier, but if you don't know it, you got to kind of look at the fittings and figure out how they want to do it. So that's it. Short hose goes to the top, 2 long ones go down to your cylinders. So I'll take care of that. And then oh, one more thing. When you're installing the top bar up here, it says do not tighten your anchor bolts. And what they want to do is just give it a little bit of play, so if you need to adjust your level after you do it, you can. But it don't never say when to tighten them, so don't forget to tighten them. After you install that bar, then tighten your anchor bolts. All right, y'all, I got one hydraulic line on. I'm gonna give you a tip. This is gonna help you. You better give me a like and like 4 comments because of this one. But before you install this lift, while it's on the ground and on its back, right? Let me flip this. These posts, you know, of course, slide, right? Before you put the cables on or anything, and it's laying on its back, take the 2 longest hoses, push this whole carriage up, right? Push it to the middle, and the hydraulic cylinder will go with it. Just push it up a little bit so it'll get past this ring down here at the bottom. No cables are in your way. But I'm gonna go and tell you, this right here is a son of a bitch getting that fitting on, because this clasp in here that holds it straight, and then your hose wants to twist, so you have to get the twist perfect and get them lined up, and then get your fingers back there to get it on. It's a son of a bitch. So take my advice, before you even stand this thing up, go ahead and hook your 2 longest hoses to both sides and run them up. You're going to thank me later for it. Okay? All right, on to the next step. All right, y'all, kind of important too. Ran the lines. They didn't say anything in there about the brackets. Well, it seems the brackets in the box. They got to go somewhere. So anyway, before you run your lines, let me show you. There's some brackets here. Go ahead and just do both of them at the same time. That one's for your cable, and then this one is for your hydraulic lines. So anyway, I just zip tied them up there. One thing I don't like is the way they sit in this tray. I mean, they thought of everything, but I'm gonna have to do something about that. I mean, that cable will be tight, and it'll be up there a little bit, but regardless, put your brackets on. 2 brackets. So now I'm running this cable here, and this goes down to my kick down here. That pulls the safety out. So I'll show you that just in a minute. Let me get down from the lift, and we'll go from there. All right, y'all, and here is my release. So the cable comes down around. There's a ring that goes right there, holds this in place, and then the spring, it goes on this side, cotter pin on the other. And it's pretty easy. You just put it on there, get your screwdriver and pop it up. So you pull it, and then the other side over there releases. Pretty simple. You wrap your cable around here, wrap it around twice, tighten it up, and I'll probably leave my tag here. Something kind of important is 2 boxes. They don't really say where they go, but they go here. So those screw in right here on both sides. These took me a while to figure out, but I hadn't got that far yet. I just didn't want to miss something. But over here on the arms is 2 holes, handles. How about that? They don't tell you that. They just give them to you. And then these, I got 2 boxes here. What the hell did they go to? I ain't figured them out yet. They ain't got no screws. They ain't got no holes. They show in the diagram, they just lay in there like that. I ain't got a clue. So I still got to figure those out. These, now this kind of got me too. I said, oh my God, that looks like something that hoses would go through, because they don't tell you what that is either. I got that figured out. There's 2 holes here. I just looked everywhere for holes that hold your adapters. So anyway, that's what we got. So let me let's see what's next. I'm gonna put my boxes on, put my arms on. We'll get some hydraulic fluid in here, and I'll wire it up. All right, y'all, everything's done now. I've got my arms on. You can see them there. Got my arms on, and whenever I get this thing powered up, let's get it powered up. these won't actually set down in the groove until it goes up, then it locks, right? Because the bottom keeps from locking. And then once it goes up, you take your Allen screws and you just adjust this and move it around so your gear fits properly, if you need to adjust it. But anyway, my next step, get this wiring done. I just want to show you how to do the wiring real quick on the safety switch. This is my safety switch here. It's going there, going up to my switch, right? And you really don't have to worry too much about what color goes on the switch. It's just a switch. So it's just a normally closed switch. When that bar hits it, then it opens the switch. So what you want to do is that switch needs to break your button, right? This button is hot coming in, going through the button, and then out. And then that out goes to a 240 volt contactor coil. So, well, you don't have to worry about too much of that if you ain't really into electricity. But what you have to do, let's see if I can do this with one hand. You're going to hook one of the switches out to one leg of your safety switch, right? And then your other leg of your safety switch is going to go to A2 on your contactor, A2. It's going to go right in there, right? And the rest is pretty basic. You have two hots. We're going to hook, let's see if I can do this here. One hot, right? And then the other hot is going to be my black. It's off the top of the contactor. Goes to my other hot here. Well, that fell off, but it don't matter. I'm just showing it for principle anyway. So, let me just hold it. One hot, two hots, ground, and then the safety switch. Okay, hope that makes sense. I'll show you once I get it done. Maybe that'll help you out. All right, I got it wired. So, here's my hot coming in. Hot coming in, going to my black. Hot coming in, going to my white. Those two basically just tie into the top of the contactor. Safety switch comes here, comes through, ground, all my grounds are connected. I got my blue wire going to my switch, and then my brown wire is going to my coil on my contactor, A2. So that's it. All we're doing is taking a hot from the contactor through our switch, and then these two wires are just a switch, normally closed, then they're touching, and whenever your car touches the bar up there, switch opens, breaks power to the coil. That's it. All right, we can get some hydraulic fluid in it and see how this thing works. All right, guys, I got hydraulic fluid in. It's wired up, and now it's time to get the air out. On the top of the cylinder is, and it don't tell you how to do this at all, but top of the cylinder, you know, all the air is always going to go up. So I got one side done. Can you hear it? It's leaking out now. So I raised it up a little bit, got some fluid in it. I'll cycle it a few times and just keep doing it and make sure all the air is out. And after that, you should be good to go. So anyway, if you've done one, leave me a comment. Let me know what I didn't do right. Or if you can give any tips for anybody else, leave a comment in the bottom. And so far, I mean, this lift's pretty heavy built, so I like it so far. Let me know what kind you got and what kind you like best. See you later.